screen, though I will say all audio on this loading screen does still go through.
Okay. I shouldn't say anything bad right now.
Completely up to you. I've forgotten to mention it maybe once or twice to an interviewee, and interesting things come about when people don't realize the cameras are rolling.
I just always assume I'm live. I'm always being recorded.
Ah, man. I don't know, for myself it's more or less just become a habit that the moment I click on the recording button, I switch over to more of a radio style voice and just make sure that things are a little more audible, so to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, yeah, in some cases I do end up switching on a bunch of filters and being like, okay, yeah, this more or less simulates what it was like when I was on radio.
Oh, you did radio?
Yeah. It was an interesting experience. It was community radio, essentially, but we were the biggest community radio in the area.
That's awesome.
So on a given night, it was like 50,000 people tuning in, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, kill me.
Oh, damn. Were you just like a disc jockey, or would you do like have people call in, or?
Oh, we had people call in. I'd conduct a couple of interviews here and there as well.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's more or less why I pushed over into doing interviews just in the VTuber scene instead, because I was like, I'm finished with that job for now, so I guess I will find somewhere I can keep using these skills.
Yeah, hell yeah, you built up all that experience.
Alright, let's see. Give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll get started in full.
Sounds good to me. I'm just finishing up this chicken non-bomb.
Okay, hopefully my internet just doesn't randomly decide to bottom out. Because for some reason it seems my connection is confusing download and upload speed at times. It's like, yes, the moment you download something, goodbye to your upload. What the hell
that's not a good confusion to have.
Pretty much doesn't help that I am constantly these days making the joke that, yes, the mice have finally got into the wires. It's just like, yes, gotta love a good old Aussie mouse plague. Because that's now coming through on this side, and it's like, oh Jesus, why?
Wait, you have an actual mouse plague?
Yeah, they're coming through at this point. They were.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they were much further inland before, and let's see, one of my interviewees from a different part of the state had to deal with the mouse plague first, and she was driven mad for almost an entire week.
What?
Apparently the city she was in pretty much ran out of mouse traps and other methods of dealing with it.
Dude,
Yeah, it's some rather mad stuff, essentially. Over here now, though, yeah, the mice have gotten very brazen. It's to the point where they invaded the laundry, they tore through a bunch of rice bags and a bunch of potatoes as well.
What?
Yeah, and get this, they didn't give a damn when it came to the chili. They ate the chili too.
Jeez, dude, why is Australia so crazy?
No, Australia's fine as long as you're in anywhere which is built up. If you're in anywhere which is a bit more, bit wilder, then yeah, can be on the side of just, Christ, everything's gone wrong. Yeah, out here we deal with snakes as well. I've stepped on 2 bloody brown snakes, and those things don't stop chasing.
Wait, what is it? Is a brown snake, is that poisonous?
Top most venomous.
Are you serious? Like in the world?
Yeah, and they're hyper aggressive too.
Oh, that's a perfect combination.
They're dangerous, and they bloody know it. It's great.
Yeah. That reminds me of my ex-girlfriend, dude.
Oh, Christ. Yeah.
I swear to God, she was she has some type of venom in her, and she knew it too, you know, so she was just hyper aggressive.
Heck. When it comes to one of my exes, it was just a case of, yes, she's cute and she knows it, so she was able to go anywhere, really. I was like, god damn.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
Very much so. Anyhow. Alright, let's see then. 2 more minutes, we'll get started in full.
Sounds good. I'm gonna grab some water real fast.
Yeah, go for it. Alright, here's hoping things don't completely freak out. I'll just pull up Twitch Inspector just in case. Oh, it is practically every time I load up a web page. Jesus Christ. Alright, best I don't really tempt anything then, in which case. Let's just adjust this a bit, and... Alright.
Alright, I'm back, dude.
Alright, welcome back. Suppose let's get started then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright then. Well, these all start off rather simple. Feel free to introduce yourself.
My name is Lord Aethelstan. I'm over 1,000 years old, over 11 feet tall. I pretty much just kind of like chilling out, going to the gym. Big fan of boobs, all types of different types of boobs. I love music. I like making music. I live in a big castle with all my friends. It's up in the sky, so that's pretty cool. We usually play like a bunch of different games. We love games up there. What else do? We get into some all types of trouble, all types of bad stuff that we probably shouldn't be doing. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much all I do each day, really.
Well, I'll say that's on the longer side of the introductions that I've received so far.
Oh, really?
Hey, yeah.
I only put in the good parts. That wasn't even the whole intro.
Hey, let's see. The thing I'd latch onto though is you're the first person here with a designated title to go alongside, I suppose. So why the Lord title specifically?
uh, honestly, just like when you say it in a British accent, it sounds like you're saying load, like load, like you dropping a load.
Oh Christ. Okay.
And that's pretty much it, man.
Hold on.
No, I'm really into history. I love all types of different history, but I'm super into like old like Viking history and like old English history. So that's where my name comes from actually. Aethelstan was like a real king back in the day.
Okay.
Like an English king.
English king. Wait, which period would have that been? Just Viking era or?
Yeah, that was like during the Viking invasion. He had like a few skirmishes with the Vikings. He like kind of set up things to unify England.
Okay.
Back in the day.
It was one of those kings.
Yeah. I love the whole aesthetic of like medieval stuff and like old timey kind of, you know, kings and queens and that like kind of high fantasy type stuff.
Fair enough, because myself, I'm not particularly well versed in Viking stuff. That would more so be my brother actually. But
oh really?
When it comes to medieval stuff, I'm more so on like the 100 Years War kind of era. So.
Oh yeah, cool.
Around high medieval rather than early or late.
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah.
Because that stuff probably interests me the most, mainly just because of the armor designs and the particular conflicts during them.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, really, any portion of history I'm super into. Yeah, that was always my favorite subject, and it's kind of one of my hobbies.
History for me is just mainly a hobby, and ends up being pulled out a lot when I'm with some of my IRLs for whatever reason. They just like pulling out random
really?
pieces of history. Yeah. It's to the point where we've ended up learning about a lot of meme battles out there. So just battles which really shouldn't have been called battles. If not, the results
no purpose at all.
Way too weird. I'll send you one of those sometime, perhaps.
Yeah, hell yeah, please.
One of those ended with a decisive strategic victory. That's a very, very specific one, though. Anyhow.
Yeah, please send them my way. I'll be so interested.
Let's see, if I'm to move along with this kind of questioning, then I'd ask about, let's see, regarding your lore in which case, because you do mention in your introduction, 1,000 years old, Lord of the Castle, etc. So, do you play into that very often, or do you just run it whenever?
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I'm pretty much in character all the time. My lore is so basically what happened was, so I was kind of like born into like a noble family, and I was starting to like take over from my dad, but we got betrayed by the evil Lord Traff, and never spell his name backwards. Lord Traff, very evil man. Don't spell it backwards.
Yes.
And so we were betrayed, we were backstabbed, and I got killed in battle actually. So I was sent down to hell. And I don't know, maybe some people are kind of wondering, well, why'd you go to hell? Well, I did some bad stuff before, and I deserved it. I'll be honest, I deserved it. So I went down to hell. Hell kind of sucked. I'm not even gonna lie. It was bullshit. It was hot. We pretty much just did like, it's basically like standing in line at the DMV. But forever. Yeah. While you're trying to hit a tax deadline. That's tomorrow, but you don't have the right form, and they keep telling you, okay, you got to come back maybe tomorrow. So it's pretty much that. So it kind of sucked. So I was thinking maybe I should get out. Maybe I should think maybe, you know, I'm a smart guy. I can figure out how to get out of here. And then like a lot of the like minions down there were talking about this Tetris tournament down in hell. So every few hundred years you could play Satan in this Tetris tournament, and he'd grant you one wish. And so me and my boys down in hell, we just started grinding. I mean, Napoleon was down there. He kind of helped me out a lot. He's a pretty good strategist. Who else was down there? Some people maybe you wouldn't think would be in hell were kind of down there actually. All
right.
Like yeah, it was got your refund in hell. Not yet. I'm still waiting for it, man.
Oh boy.
So yeah, we just kind of grinded Tetris for like a few hundred years. We took on Satan, and believe it or not, we fucking won.
Oh.
And
okay.
so Satan usually, he gets a bad rap. but he's a man of his word, and he gave us that one wish. And so I just wanted to get back to my kingdom, get back to my dad, all my boys back up on Earth, and just get my castle back, dude. So I came up like last year around October.
Oh,
I got back, and I'm just I got my castle back, so I'm back there with my boys in the castle, and my dad's here now with me too, and that's cool. I haven't seen him for like over 1,000 years, so that's pretty nice. And yeah, now we're just kind of chilling in the castle, just trying to catch up with everything and make some music and have fun. And I had 1,000 years with no tits in my life, so I'm trying to get back to that and see a lot of those, and yeah, just trying to enjoy each day, really. Stay alive.
Yeah, logic works out, I'd say. But man, yeah, that is probably the deepest lore I've heard on this so far.
Oh, really?
Yeah, most people leave it at 1 or 2 lines, and they're just like, yeah, so that's general aesthetic. Then it's like, yes, I'm just a variety streamer, etc.
Oh shit, dude, sorry, I'm just being honest, man. I'm just
no, that works perfectly fine, honestly. It's a refreshing change of pace, because
yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to be honest.
Personally, I'm a writer as my day job, so it is a case of just
really?
Yes. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So it's always fascinating to see what people actually do come up with, or their reasons for getting behind the character or whatnot.
Dude, hell yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm actually a little bit of a writer myself.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, back in, I won the Young Authors tournaments 2 years in a row, dude, believe it or not, back in 2nd and 3rd grade of elementary school. And I'm still kind of riding high from that.
Fair enough.
So I fancy myself as a little bit of a writer, too.
Alright, but let's talk design-wise. What exactly did inspire your current design? Full-on abs, coat, everything, really?
Pretty much just me in real life with just long hair.
Damn. Alright.
No, so this was actually my second design. My first design, I had blonde hair. I have blonde hair in real life.
Okay.
But I kind of wanted to get like a little bit further away, so I decided to go with white and pink. And I decided to add the coat with the wolf heads. I don't want to drop too much, but there might be a wolf form coming soon.
Okay.
Of my design. And like, I don't know, I just kind of like the whole aesthetic of just big coats, big swords, big ass fucking muscles, and a lot of swag dripping from the neck. As you can see, I got the 5 chains on there.
Oh yeah, that was a heck of a lot there, because when I was pixeling out this design, I was like, okay, what are the main elements that I can include, and the elements I have to dismiss thanks to the limitations of the size. And I was like, I do want to try and get those chains in there, but those likely won't fit too well.
Yeah, no worries.
And then the wolf pauldrons as well was a case of, yes, these would be nice to have, but I'm not proficient enough at this kind of stuff either. So
yeah, no worries.
But,
yeah, there's just like some small details on me, I guess.
Yeah, the design itself though reminded me a lot of Castlevania for whatever reason. Just a case
my first design was really definitely had like more Castlevania vibe. But yeah, with the whole coat that I put on, and the fur coat and everything, I just in the white hair, like, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to do like just something kind of like royal, but still dripping with swag, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Something more on the nobler side of things, I suppose. But yeah, it does work out quite well, I will say.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Let's see. In which case, let's see. So, why specifically get straight into VTubing, per se?
Oh man. So to be honest, like maybe this time last year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no. I started like my Twitter in October of last year, in 2020.
Okay.
And I didn't know what a VTuber was in October, and I still, honestly, I don't really know. But my best buddy Cosma, he's my best friend in real life. He had retired from the army, and he was just kind of chilling and just trying to think of some stuff that he could be doing. And he was like, hey, you know, I think I want to try this VTubing stuff. And I live in Japan, so I had heard of VTubing. I didn't know too much about it, but I kind of knew the general gist. And yeah, I was like, dude, that's awesome. You should definitely try. Get into it, get it, you know, I'll definitely support you no matter what you do. So he got into it, and then he knew that I made music, and he was like, hey, do you think you could make some music for me? And I said, yeah, sure, hell yeah. So I did that, and then as he started making more friends, he realized more and more people needed music because of DMCA rules on Twitch. And he was like, yo, you know, you should totally start making music for people. And I'd never done like commissions or anything like that, so I was like, well, I don't know, I'm not really too interested in VTubing or anything like that. And what really started it was I would get on my personal Twitter and I would find Cosmo's VTuber Twitter, and I would spam like the most horrendous shit on his posts. Just absolutely shit all over his posts. And me and my other buddy, we would do that. And we just thought it was so funny. And he messaged us one time. He was like, hey guys, like, you know, maybe just don't comment that stuff if you're on your personal Twitter, because people could find me and like dox me. And he was like, so, you know, maybe just don't comment on my stuff anymore. And of course I still wanted to shit post on his stuff naturally, you know.
Yep.
And so I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll just make a VTuber Twitter. So that way I can shit post on Cosmo's post. And so I was like, you know, okay, so I made a VTuber Twitter, and then I guess the rest is history. I just started meeting like really cool people. Like there was just some funny ass people and really creative people, and Cosmo really did push me to start making music. So I was like, you know what, I do really want to make music. I want to make more music, have a reason to make music, be inspired to make music. So I thought, okay, you know what, I'll try and run this Twitter and do it so that I can meet people to make music for them, even if I do it for free. And I just started releasing like some free tracks, and people just seemed to really enjoy it. And I started getting hit up for paid commissions, which was just mind blowing to me. Dude, I think like my first paid commission, it was like $50 for like a minute long loop or something like that.
Oh heck.
And I bought like I like immediately bought like a Strong Zero from Japan. I don't know if you know what Strong Zero is.
No, we like recently got those in Australia, actually.
Oh yeah? Yeah, dude, hell yeah. So I bought a Strong Zero. So if you're listening and you don't know what it is, it's like Japanese liquor. It's kind of like a cider almost, but it's like super strong. And I just, with that $50, I just went and bought a Strong Zero, and I just listened to the song I made for like 3 hours. It was awesome. So that feeling, I just wanted to keep feeling that and keep making music for people, and it just kind of grew naturally from there. And like Cosmo was like, well, you know, maybe you should make a character too, that way, you know, you can kind of fit into the scene a little bit and people can recognize you a little bit better. And I was like, you know what, dude, yeah, I mean, that could be kind of fun, designing a character and you know, really getting into it, because I love like, yeah, just kind of goofing off and just, you know, making up stupid stories and stuff. So I thought, you know, maybe I could make this 1,000-year-old Tetris lord from hell that happens to make music. So yeah, I guess that's kind of what drew it into me. I don't know any, like, I didn't really watch any VTubers or anything before I got into this, and now I only watch VTubers that I know, like just my friends, because I made so many cool friends through all this. So any of like the big people, I never was really interested in any of that stuff. But like the small independent VTubers, I mean, that's some of the best content on the internet, dude. There's so many cool, funny, talented people. So I've just really come to love everything about it, really. The indie scene, for sure.
Yeah, there are plenty of creators out there. Like,
yeah,
whenever I look through Twitter, yeah, it's a case of, oh, I found someone new. Next day, oh, I found someone new again. Next day, oh god, they're everywhere. And they just keep cropping up, and it's just like, man. But yeah, for myself, I had roughly the same kind of story, actually.
Oh, really?
It started out with just watching a friend get into VTubing, and then a bunch of friends and I all shit posting on his stuff, essentially. Like, every time he went live, we would make up half his audience and then just shove all kinds of bullshit in.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, eventually the guy just kept at it. I got somewhat worried for the bastard at some point, so I decided to join in. So why not?
Hey, yeah. It's beautiful, man. Just supporting your friends and, you know, stumbling upon just you know, a cool scene, a cool community. It's great.
Because yeah, I did stumble into all kinds of people, essentially. Like, I didn't expect to stumble into mostly fellas from North America, I suppose. I had no idea where I was going at first, because it was actually my first time using Twitter making this account, so it's just like, oh man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So just going all over the place and just being like, okay, who the hell is this? Who am I getting DM'd by?
Yep. Yeah, I know that feeling, man.
Yeah. But hey, you've gotten this far. I've managed to carve my own way as well, so hey.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, we're just getting started, man.
But yeah, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this interview, shall we?
Oh, hell yeah.
So,
I'm hungry.
let's see. When it comes to content production, primarily I noticed that you do streams and music production, essentially.
Yes, sir.
So,
yeah, that's correct.
So yes, do go ahead and comment on those if you'd like. So, what kind of music do you like producing specifically?
Yeah, dude, great question, man. Primarily I do like electronic music. So like house music, synthwave, all types of different EDM. I recently got into making dubstep, which is pretty fun. Future bass. I love any like hip hop or like lo-fi, R&B. Pretty much anything besides like rock, orchestral, or just like straight up piano pieces. I'll kind of fuck around with everything, but I like more music that'll let me kind of either create like an atmosphere or like get me moving, if that makes sense.
Get you moving. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Especially when you mentioned the more electro stuff. Because say house specifically, that stuff runs primarily off the kick drum and how much that beat kind of affects things. And then
oh yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's the most simple beat in the world, but I mean,
it is very simple.
There's something primal about it, dude.
Let's see, if I recall, there was this massive electronic music guide out there called Ishruka's Guide or something along those lines. And yeah, it traces back the roots of electronic music all the way back, and you get to see the full evolution of everything all the way up to the modern age, and you can just see how many different bloody genres that thing splinters out into.
Oh yeah, I believe it, dude. I believe it.
Yeah, it's rather maddening looking at that map, because then you realize, Jesus, okay, that somehow led into that, and that somehow led into that, and...
That's cool. I've never seen that before, but I can imagine.
Let's see. It's like Ishruka's Guide or Ishiruka's Guide, something like that. I'll shoot you a link of it sometime, because it is...
Yeah, please do.
It is one hell of a trip, and yeah... It does provide examples throughout, and the guy shitposts a lot for quite a few of the genres.
Beautiful.
Like, if you ever seen a meme which was just a dude half naked squatting by a keyboard with the caption "Fuck yeah, dubstep"? Yep, that was in the guide somewhere.
Beautiful. We love it. We love it.
But yeah, with the electronic side of production, I'm honestly not the most familiar with it. I have dabbled. But mainly I'm also like a studio engineer, more so. So personally, I'll go in, set up instruments, help record, mix it on the spot, etc.
Okay, cool.
So that's more my own personal experience, but in your case, yeah. If you prefer all the electronic sort of production, then yeah, I can see why you've gone for your door of choice anyhow.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. FL Studio is perfect for that. It's like perfect for EDM and rap, I feel like.
Yeah, that's what it's normally advertised as. So yeah, go over the benefits specifically of FL Studio that you find. Stuff that you find particularly useful or anything that really stands out about it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the first and only one I ever used.
Oh, heck, okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a comfort thing, if that makes sense. Yeah, I first got it when I was in high school, when I was just like making beats with my friends. And yeah, it's just the reason I got it was because that's what Soulja Boy used to make a lot of his songs.
Oh.
And to me, Soulja Boy is probably. I mean, it might sound like a. Do you know Soulja Boy?
Yeah, I've heard of him, of course. I grew up in that era, anyhow.
Hell yeah. To me, it might sound like a meme, but to me, he inspired almost all types of internet music. He was like the first viral music video to kind of pop off, and that's how all music is run now.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I can see
so like
that anyhow.
Yeah. So like, to me, like him using FL Studio was like, okay, like I have so much respect for him, so you know, I'll try FL Studio too. And as far as the benefits, I don't know, because I can't really relate it to any other DAW because I've never used any other one. But I just love the aesthetic. Like I've seen like Ableton and Logic use it, and I don't know if I'm just biased because it's all I've ever used, but to me FL Studio is just like the easiest to look at. I'm just biased, dude. You know, I know where everything is. I know how to do everything I want to do. There's a lot of like, the people that made it are pretty memey too. Like there's some cool little features throughout FL Studio. Like you can get like a little anime girl that dances around to your music. Like they just put in like a lot of funny stuff.
Okay, that feature I didn't know about, and I need to know about now.
Yeah, it's awesome. They just put a lot of funny stuff into it, and it's just kind of a meme. The whole DAW itself is kind of a meme, which I love. And I don't know, it just does everything I need it to, if that makes sense. Like
no,
it just has everything that I need.
Yeah. As for myself, I worked in Logic and Pro Tools before heading over to FL Studio, and I was like, FL Studio completely threw me for a loop because I was like, wait, where is everything?
Yeah. Is it that much different from Logic and Ableton?
Let's see, for Logic, a lot of the stuff is automated, so it'll just straight up throw everything that you need straight away. Like, if you if you put in a track, they will actually just straight up send it to the mixing bus, etc. Very straightforward from there. And they lock away a lot of the more advanced features of things, so that you can't do any destructive edits out of the box. It pretty much makes sure that you can't particularly screw up, essentially, is what Logic is.
Okay, hell yeah. And FL Studio just kind of throws you into the fire and just says, figure it all out.
Yeah, FL Studio, there's enough tooltips to get around, but at the same time, it's a case of, oh god, where is everything? Or more so, I have to manually push this to here and push that to there, etc.
Okay.
There's, I think the easiest example is with Logic. The moment you want to do some automation, you have to pull up a completely separate interface. And then you can adjust the automation accordingly. Whether you do that in real time or just bump it, lever it, etc.
Okay.
For FL Studio, when it got to automation, I was like, wait, where the hell do I start automating from? Then I realized, you right click on what you want to automate, and then you insert the clip, and it's like, okay, that makes sense all of a sudden.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like those little tricks that you kind of have to figure out or like learn from tutorials and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will say the mixing experience is rather pleasant on FL Studio, I found.
Oh yeah, it's so nice. It's so easy.
Yeah, like, it's just very easy to insert stuff, and then...
Yeah, definitely.
You can just mess with the plugins accordingly, and as far as I'm concerned, yeah, the base plugins they give you are pretty decent, at the very least.
Oh yeah, the stock plugins are really nice. You can do a lot with it.
Mm-hmm.
You can, I mean, that's pretty much all I use for a long time, which is the stock plugins on FL Studio. And like a lot of their like EQ plugins or like their reverb plugins, delays, I mean, I still use them. They're great.
Oh yeah,
you can do so much.
I've played around with, at the very least, the reverb, and I was like, man, okay, this is practically all I really ever need when it comes to reverb.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, their EQs are pretty straightforward as well.
Yeah, definitely.
They're roughly on the caliber of stuff in Logic and Pro Tools as well, because it was very fast to just go, oh, okay, so I can just notch things out here, or I can just pull things up here, etc.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, speaking of which, what particular plugins have you gotten to replace some of the stock stuff?
Ooh, that's a good question. So my favorite synth by far is Serum. I think that might be a lot of people's favorite synth. Serum by far is my favorite.
So I've heard.
Yeah, it's the one I've spent the most time with. I mean, you can just make any sound with that. I'm still really trying to learn sound design, like designing my own synths. Outside of that, I really like Vital as well. Vital is like a free version of Serum. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Vital's great. There's a few that I really want to buy that I'm probably going to buy here soon. I really want to get Silent. It's probably my next purchase. I think that's from a European company. I think it's like $130 or so, but it's kind of like, it's similar to Serum, but more on more kind of used in EDM. Like I know Martin Garrix uses that quite a bit. So I definitely want to get into that. As far as like effects and stuff, of course you have to have OTT.
Alright, we're back live. Good lord.
All right. Welcome back.
Yep. Oh yeah, do go on, so from OTT.
So OTT, definitely one of the best compressors. I love Sausage Fattener.
Sausage Fattener, I have not heard that name before, actually.
It's pretty fun. It just kind of fattens things up a little bit. It just kind of adds like quite a bit of saturation to a lot of your sounds.
Okay, yeah.
Pretty cool. I really love Valhalla. Valhalla's amazing for reverb and delay. I recently got that one. Isotope Vinyl is really cool too, kind of for that like lo-fi effect. I also have a bunch of like old like 8-bit synthesizers.
Okay.
Yeah, like 16-bit, 8-bit synthesizers that are really cool. You can make some crazy sounds with that. Let me just open FL Studio and see what I got in here.
Oh yeah, by all means, go for it.
I have quite a bit. I have this thing called Endless Smile that I use a lot, and so there's a paid version of this plugin. Is it called Endless Smile? If you're making Data Life Endless Smile, yeah. So there's this thing called Endless Smile, which basically you can use it kind of adds like that almost like low pass effect, in EDM music, where it like rises up to the drop and it like cuts off all the frequencies and just kind of like smushes things down. You can do that with a bunch of different things like the delay, volume, flanger, reverb, stereotype, HP filter, that kind of stuff, like to make your drops like more intense, I guess. But somebody created a free version, so I use that all the time now for a lot of my EDM tracks. That's definitely become one of my favorites. Just kind of throw it on the master and let it rip right before I drop. Tall filter is amazing for like LFO.
Yes.
Tall filter is great. Camel Crusher is amazing too. I have a D-Blue tape stop, which is really cool. I like using that a lot. It kind of like as the name implies, tape stop, it kind of like stops everything. So you can kind of make that like that kind of sound.
Ah, okay.
So you can put that before drop, and that's a pretty cool effect. I have a few different like EQs that I like. I have this thing called Diablo, for drums.
All right.
Diablo is pretty nice. Cymatics Diablo. Just kind of makes your drums a little punchier. It's pretty nice. I have the tall vocoder, which is pretty cool. Tall reverb. I'm a big fan of the tall series.
Yeah, that stuff tends to be pretty nice to work with.
Yeah, it's great. And then yeah, just a ton of different like free, like Labs is really cool.
Oh, that Labs is insane for some things. Cause I was like, oh, what could Labs possibly offer? I see whale sounds. I'm just like,
hell yeah.
I'm gonna find a way to shove this in somewhere.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I mean, just a bunch of different like random free ones that I kind of peruse the internet for. Yeah, but with that said, I mean the stock FL Studio plugins are really great too. You can do a lot of cool stuff with it.
Yeah, the stock stuff in FL Studio I've been told is very powerful and somewhat difficult to replace after a while if you get used to it. But yeah, there are more mainstream options out there that one can make use
definitely.
of.
Definitely.
Because yeah, personally I was going to shoot straight for Ableton myself, but then a music producer friend of mine was like, nah. You don't need to go for Ableton. You can use FL Studio and I'll show you why.
Beautiful.
And he pretty much just went over everything that he had managed to accomplish with the damn thing, and I was like, okay, yeah, you got me.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. And so is that what you use now? You use FL Studio?
Yeah, I mainly go with FL Studio because when I looked at everything else, I was like, man, if I wanted to keep using Logic, I would need to get a Mac. If I wanted to use Pro Tools, I would need to get an arm and a leg sawed off, essentially.
Yeah.
And Ableton was a 50-50 shot with FL Studio, essentially. Apart from that, I did pick up a copy of Reaper, but that's more specifically for vocal stuff.
Yeah, I've heard pretty good things about Reaper too.
It's very lightweight.
It's free, right? It's free, right?
Not quite free, just extremely low cost.
Oh, really?
Yeah, FL you pay like $300 these days for Producer Edition. For Reaper, I think it was only around $60, thereabouts. Around there.
Oh, damn. Okay, yeah, that is cheap.
Yeah, it's extremely cheap for a DAW.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that $300 for FL Studio is just, there's nothing better, dude.
And it comes with
you get lifetime free updates,
yeah.
A lot of plugins. Yeah, you can do anything. Oh yeah, that's the best $300 I ever spent.
I'd agree on that front. FL has been treating me decently well, at the very least. I haven't had any major issues with it anyway.
That's great, man.
Then I compare it to Logic, and that thing has shit the bed a couple of times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because specifically when I was going through mixing classes and whatnot, Logic has just been like, yeah, I don't want to make this plugin work for you, so good luck.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's kind of weird how some of them can be finicky like that.
It doesn't help much that you can only use it on a Mac, so hey.
Gross.
Yeah, every time I needed to turn in an assignment, it was a case of, yes, come into the lab, work on a Mac.
Disgusting.
Yeah, because that particular institute, yep, they liked forcing Macs on you, simply because, yeah, they don't have to upkeep with proper Windows stuff anyhow.
Oh, that's my worst nightmare.
I got used to it throughout uni, so it was a case of, what's the worst that could happen at that point? I'll just bring in my own input devices so I don't have to use the terrible stuff they've got.
There you go. Yeah, dude, I hate Macs. Wow, with a passion.
Yeah, it just takes 1 or 2 extra clicks to work everything out, and then after that, it's like,
yeah,
after that, it's more user-friendly, I guess, or idiot-proof, but at the same time, it's a case of there are certain things which, if you just take a step above being idiot-proof, then yeah, you can work it out a lot faster.
Exactly.
Anyhow, I'll move on to one of the more controversial topics in the music industry. What exactly
what's
are
up?
your thoughts on sampling?
Yeah, dude, for sure. Sampling, when I first started, so I don't know if you know Splice.
To an extent, at least.
So Splice is a paid subscription, and you can download different types of like synth samples, vocal samples, drum samples, little riffs, stuff like that. And when I first started, I used to use a lot of those because I wasn't really too sure like what I was doing. And I just kind of found that like it sounded cool, but like there wasn't as there wasn't as much of like a like sense of accomplishment, I guess, from flipping those samples. And like I guess if you're making like rap music, like it's fun to sample stuff. But these days, if I'm doing commissions and stuff, I don't use any samples unless it's like a vocal sample or like a meme or something like that. But in terms of like sounds, the only samples I'll use is maybe like I recently made like a house song and I took vocal samples for that. And I don't know. I mean, I think sampling's fine. Like I think it's totally fine, but to me sampling full sounds and stuff like that, or like chord progressions, stuff like that, to me there's just not as much fun to be had, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's fair enough. After all, you are grabbing something existing rather than building it from ground up.
Yeah. So I used to use Splice in a totally different way. And like one of my first commissions, like back in the day, I had used this sample and the person had said like, oh, you know, I heard this in a song before. And I guess somebody had the same idea as me and they had taken that same sample from Splice and put it in their song. So it had like the same kind of melody. And after that happened, it just fucking tore me up, dude. Like I was like, what the fuck? Like I don't want my music to ever like sound like anybody else's. Like I don't want it to ever even be close to anybody else's. So that just really fucked me up. And so I still love Splice for like a lot of cool like vocal samples and drums and stuff like that. So that's what I use it for now. But in terms of sampling sounds or like chord progressions, melodies, anything like that, personally, I don't do that at all anymore. I've had way too much fun making my own sounds, and as I've kind of come across more sound design stuff and learning like music theory and, you know, creating my own chord progressions, there's no better feeling like creating your own sound, your own melody, your own progression. So after kind of going through that process, I've just had way more fun just kind of starting from scratch. So yeah, these days, I think it's great if you sample, you know, as long as you're within your rights, you know, taking something from Splice as well within your rights, you can do that. That's why it's there. But to me these days, I don't know, it's just more fun not, if that makes sense.
No, it makes plenty of sense. Like, when it comes to sampling, my own personal opinion on it is as long as you've created something that stands out enough, or the sample actually adds to the piece per se, then yeah, for sure, shoot for the sample. Why not? If it's definitely a case of you're cutting corners or whatnot, then it kind of feels shit on the other hand.
Definitely.
Because absolutely. I think the most extreme case of sampling in the music industry these days is likely something like Daft Punk, where it's just like, just how many of these are samples, and there are entire YouTube videos out there which just show off every single sample they made use of.
Yeah, definitely, right?
And
Yeah,
I think,
them and like Kanye West too.
yeah.
Like he's famous for all his samples.
It's
So I mean, I think in that form, it's cool. Like it becomes its own thing for sure.
yeah.
You know, so in that particular case, I don't know. I think it's its own kind of art form. You know, taking a sound and manipulating it into something new and giving it new life to live. So I think it's cool, man. I think it's great. I think if I did more rap music, I'd probably sample more. But for like EDM type stuff, nah, I don't. Only vocals. That's it.
Because yeah, making sounds from scratch is an insane process at times. Like
Yeah,
when you
definitely.
discover just how much you can tweak with the synth to get different sounds, or how much you can mess with an arpeggiator just for a different kind of backing, then yeah, you get into some rather mad stuff. Because
Yeah.
then you realize, oh shit, there's too much maths here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just look at the waves and I'm just like, oh man, I'm reminded
brain
way
dead
too
now.
much of trigonometry. I'm just like, oh god.
Yep, exactly.
It's like, oh yeah, if I wanted a specific noise, turn this into a square wave, me. God damn, why?
I should have paid more attention in math class.
No, a friend of mine that I went through the whole audio production course with, that guy is insane on the maths and science front as well. So I'm just like,
Oh yeah.
please help me here. And yeah, the guy loses hours upon hours just sitting in front of a synthesizer and just cranking and changing different sounds. I'm just like, man, what are you on? But at the same time, give me some of that stuff.
Yeah, you can totally get lost in all that, right?
And yeah, it turns out, yeah, he was on something, odds are, and getting completely lost in cranked up bass in the middle of the countryside to the point where his neighbors in the countryside started feeling the ground shaking.
Beautiful.
Yes, when you have that much sub that, yeah, even someone several kilometers away is just like, oi, what's going on, buddy? Why is the entire house shaking?
Yeah. My glass of water is rippling.
Yeah, no, that guy just even had cases of like bush doofs and whatnot, where they just drag out speakers into the middle of nowhere, crank up whatever.
That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, that fella's got a bunch of insane stories. He's taking some time off just to make an EP, actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've decided to take the same kind of 6-month break he is, just to make sure that I can get whatever other projects off the ground as well.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And,
oh man, that's so cool.
And yeah, when the both of us are back in classes, it'll be a case of, hey, what do you get up to in the holidays? Hey, what do you get up into in the holidays? It's like, oh yeah, I released an EP. Oh, what do you do? Okay, here we go.
Oh man.
Oh, no, it's good having a fella like that to just bounce off of. Especially,
Yeah, absolutely.
especially
Yeah,
in
somebody
this
else is
industry
talented.
where
And,
it's just like,
yeah.
But man, when I heard some of that guy's stuff, it was very much cosmic space noise with bass, and then the Pornhub theme attached to it, and I was like, man, you really write some good shit, but what the hell?
Yeah. It's awesome seeing how like other creative people work.
Definitely.
What they come up with.
Anyhow, there's one aspect of these interviews which I did forget to mention to you. On the occasion,
yeah, what's up?
I will just throw a bunch of random curveball questions, stuff that I didn't necessarily send to you in advance.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, what's up?
Anyhow, what are your thoughts on being able to make a living out of creative work?
Oh, well, I can't now. So I'll let you know when that happens.
Is it a dream?
I don't know. I'm not really doing any of this for money, really. The money just kind of furthers my hobby. Any money I've made from this just has all gone back to music equipment, stuff for my VTuber model, my friends that I've met. I love just dropping subs on people and like donating and all that kind of stuff. So right now I'm just kind of doing this to just have a good time, and just enjoy making music. If I get to a point where I make enough money to quit my job, I mean, I don't know, I guess that'd be cool, but that's not really what I'm trying to do. You know, I just want to have a good time. I'm not going to be alive for much longer, so I'm just trying to, like, you know, just create as much cool music and as much, like, laughter as I can, and just kind of vibe out. I know, and, you know, and like the money, it's not really on my radar at all, really.
Oh, all right. Oh, that's a fair enough answer. In which case, essentially going for a hobby which half pays for itself, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if I'm breaking even, baby, then we're winning.
Oh god, but the one thing most music producers have in common is we're all broke, because everything costs an arm and a leg.
Yeah. I'm lucky enough. I do have a full-time job that I love. So, you know, money hasn't been an issue, luckily. For me, I'm doing just fine, and you know, I think that's why I enjoy VTubing so much, is because I'm not trying to necessarily grind to hit some type of monetary goal. I'm just trying to have a good time and just, yeah, make music. That's it.
That's fair enough. Like, even myself, if I had planned to make money out of this, then I'd have probably approached it in a very, very different way, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because my day job is already dreamlike for a lot of people, just being able to sit down and just keep writing, I suppose.
Yeah, hell yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, writing is just one of those fields where it's just like, yes, everything is, everything's hunky-dory till you realize you have deadlines, and then when the deadlines come, you write like an absolute madman and don't sleep.
Yeah. Yep.
But no, it's fulfilling work, because when you finally turn in a piece of which meets all of your standards, and the editor just ticks off on, instead of saying, oh, go back and fix all this stuff, then you're just like, heck, I did good work.
There you go. Hell yeah.
But no, it's fulfilling to have another job on top of this VTubing stuff. It's part of why I've thrown a particular name to stuff that I've done when it comes to VTubing.
Yeah.
That being, I mainly go with the logic of moonlighting, where you essentially treat it like just something secondary.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I think if I was relying on, like, on VTubing or music or whatever to pay my bills, I don't know if I would enjoy it as much.
Because yeah, the moment a hobby turns into work is then when it starts losing its, well, hobby status entirely.
Yeah, I don't want to push out content or, like, do shit just because, like, I feel like I gotta do it. I want to do it because I think it's funny or I think it's good.
Yeah, just having that ability to vibe is just nice, pretty much.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I'm pretty much just trying to vibe as much and as often as possible.
Hey. It's not too bad for myself anyhow. Yeah. Anyhow, speaking of vibing and whatnot, we are back on air. So,
oh, great.
What exactly are your favorite kinds of streams to tune in on?
Oh man, my favorite types of streams, I don't know. I like a lot of different stuff, I guess. I love watching my boy.
To go over it.
Yeah, I love, probably my favorite type of stream is my best friend Cosma. Whatever he's doing is probably my favorite. He plays a lot of games. He's a fucking gaming god. So I love watching him play stuff. I just think he's funny as hell and like just such a nice guy. So whatever he's doing is pretty much my favorite type of stream to watch.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
What else? I like art streams too. Like I can't do any type of art other than music, so I love watching people draw. And just kind of vibing out and kind of seeing the progress of all their work. I think is really fun. Other than that, I mean, what else do I watch? I pretty much I just pop in wherever. Like I really only watch my friends. I just kind of pop in and see what they're doing and just kind of checking it out. I really don't watch any other streamers. Like I don't watch like any random streamers. Okay, no, there is one stream I love. There's this guy named Cook Sucks. And I've become pretty good friends with him on Twitter. But he has a massive fucking Twitch. Like anywhere from like 600 to like over 1,000 viewers each time. But he does like IRL streams. He's this Asian dude who walks around. He was just in Korea for a few months, and he's just an absolute mad lad. Just kind of doing, he's just really good at talking, really good at just making things interesting. No shame whatsoever. So like he'll just like talk to random people in Korean, and just seeing his adventures. Like I would sit there with my buddy Cosmo and we would watch for hours, just kind of seeing what goofy stuff he would do. So I guess I just love goofy people. Like I love people that do weird kind of stuff and just are kind of unafraid to be themselves, I guess. That recently has been one of my favorite streams to watch.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I think that answers the question. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that answers it pretty well. Conversely, what are your favorite kinds of streams to do?
Music is definitely my favorite stream to do. That's pretty much all I do. I play games sometimes. I recently started playing Dragon's Dogma. That's been a really
good one. I will say.
Yeah, that's been a really fun stream to do because that game is just absolutely hilarious. But I don't know, I like doing music the best. A lot of my like most favorite songs I've made on stream. Like I put out a song last week called Dad, I'm Fucking Gay.
Oh, and I was there for the production of that one.
Oh yeah, you were there?
Yeah, that one was fun as hell. I was like, damn.
Yeah, so that was just so much fun. Like having all these talented people just kind of chilling in the stream and all my buddies and just kind of helping me along and giving me ideas. It's just, I mean, there's nothing better. Like that to me is so much fun. And yeah, I just always have like great ideas with my viewers, and yeah, we just make funny stuff and stupid songs. Like yeah, you can't beat that. But I don't know, I would like to do more game streams, I guess. Because I do love playing games. I just feel like I never have the time. I always feel like I should be doing something else. Like when I'm playing games, I always feel guilty, but I'd like to do at least like once a week, play a game. But yeah, to answer your question, music by far.
Yeah, I'd say likewise with the game stuff, because personally I am also a game designer, because writing alone doesn't pay the bills, neither does game design. So you gotta do both.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And yeah, it's a case of you have to do that careful balancing act of spending that time designing games and then actually going out there and finding new ones to experience and learn from, per se. Oh
yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, you're just studying, right?
It ends up being a case of, unfortunately, I can't really enjoy too many games these days, because it comes down to the moment I start one, I just start breaking it down and realize, I can use this, or I could use that, or this doesn't function whatsoever and is bugging the shit out of me at this point.
I can imagine that must be hard.
I think, yeah, I'll say Dragon's Dogma was definitely one where I did genuinely have fun with. Until I tried out the
yeah,
warrior
so good.
class, and then I got really mad at it.
Yeah, I'm having this game right now.
Yeah, Dragon's Dogma, that game is entirely based around old school Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I love the whole aesthetic of it. It's the whole high fantasy, like, yeah, I just kind of lose myself in it.
Because yeah, even right down to the combat and how spells are casted and everything, that is all straight up D&D, actually. Because that whole ability to grapple onto things, or grapple other targets and whatnot, all of that, pretty much Capcom was like, okay, we see D&D, we want to make D&D into a video game that people can play, so here we go, let's make Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that's how they came up with the idea.
I didn't know that. I've only played D&D one time, so I couldn't really make the comparison, but that makes sense to me.
It's a comparison not many people do make, mainly because they usually go for the idea of, oh, it's like open world Monster Hunter, kind of. Is what most people usually think, because same company, same kind of combat system almost, but yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that before too, definitely. That, like, open world Monster Hunter with, like, mixed with Devil May Cry.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because that whole combat system is very, very D&D, and the exploration, the long distance travel and everything, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Everything is just complete D&D, even the story to an extent, which is surprising. Because yeah, they do manage to incorporate a lot of classic D&D monsters and whatnot. Say for example,
oh damn, okay.
Yeah, some of the later stuff is just full on, started with D&D, has spread out into popular culture, and now you see it completely formed in Dragon's Dogma as well.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to get further.
Yeah, but yeah. Let's see. Alright, so I did have this one written down. So what are your full thoughts on the indie VTuber scene? Like, you've mentioned you've run into plenty of talented people here and there. Do you have any grievances, any particular highlights that you want to point out?
Grievances? I don't think so.
Fair enough.
What would a grievance be? Like...
I don't know, have you ever run into any particular drama, or do you just steer completely clear of that?
I did have this one bitch, the only Twitter beef I ever had, man, this one fucking asshole.
Oh, go on, let's hear it.
So I was just kind of clowning on this guy. I thought I was joking. I don't want to get into every detail, but like...
Oh, sure.
It ended with him, like, I was just clowning on him, like I wasn't saying anything mean or like offensive to him. And he just finishes off his like his last little jab and said something about like fuck, what did he say? He was like something in your fucking like toothpick body or something like that.
Heck.
And like I didn't want to go like too off on him, but I was like I did professional bodybuilding before I moved to Japan, and like I was a trainer for years. So I don't know where he like got that idea. Cause like he was putting up these pictures or whatever like in the gym, and me and Cosmo were kind of like clowning, like saying like, oh, show us your legs, stuff like that. And he ended up like not showing us his legs, so we're like, hey, like we want to see him, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, oh, I don't want to be that guy in the gym taking leg pictures or whatever. And we're like, oh, whatever. And then yeah, he was like, okay, something, you got a toothpick body. And so like that was my only Twitter beef ever. Heck. And I could have ended him right there. I could have just hit him with the rear double bicep picture right there, but I didn't. He obviously had some type of small PP kind of energy going on, and so I didn't want to end him. That is the only Twitter beef I've ever had. Yeah, I'm thinking about putting up like a full body picture on Twitter. This was like months ago too. It's not. I'm making it seem like it's a big deal, but it's really not.
Oh, that's fine.
But I just like to say that I've had Twitter beef once before, even though like I'm sure he doesn't even fucking care. Like, I mean, ultimately, like, I don't care either, but I do like the fact that I've had a Twitter beef before. So what I do want to do is I want to put up like a full body picture, and just kind of call him out and say like, oh, one time this bitch said I was a toothpick, and then just write something stupid like, pick your teeth with this, you pussy bitch, or something like that, and just have a picture of me like fully like shirtless. Like, I'm thinking maybe rear double bicep. I don't know. That might be my strongest pose.
Oh,
my side chest is pretty good too.
Man.
Whatever makes me look meatiest. So I'm thinking about doing that maybe in the next week or so. Other than that, really, really serious beef. I don't have any grievances, man. Everybody's cool as fuck. No, I've never met anyone that I don't like. Even that guy, man, I hope he knows that I was just joking around. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any anything I dislike about VTuber stuff. I definitely don't like any of like the kid kind of things. Like
that stuff is a bit troublesome. Very troublesome.
I don't like I don't like the whole like little kid aesthetic. I think that's fucking creepy. Anything like that I just kind of don't really fuck with. I mean, I don't know. But I don't really see too much of that just because it's not in my world. It's not in the people that like I follow, so I don't see too much of that. I know there was some drama about it, like some girl a while ago. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, everybody seems so cool. Like, just everyone's goofy. Everyone's fucking just having a good time and being creative. And I love that. I love that about the community. Like, everybody's always coming up with cool ideas. Like, even Cosmo, like, he's always coming up with cool ideas. And we're always like bouncing ideas off of each other and just kind of trying to come up with funny or like weird shit that we could do. And I don't know. I think that's the coolest part of the VTuber community is I'm just always inspired. Whether it be like somebody doing artwork that I've never seen before, you know, that I can't do artwork, so that inspires me to further my craft, the things that I'm good at. So I just love seeing that. I love going on Twitter every day and just seeing crazy shit. Like, you know, I love seeing massive boobs on my timeline and being like, hell yeah, like, you know.
Oh man. Yeah.
Like, it just inspires me, man. Just seeing these two massive tits just riding up and down on my Twitter feed. It does something to me, man. So I don't know. I love always seeing new creative ideas. And, you know, I've had some of my best experiences in the past few years with the friends that I've made through all of this. And that easily, like, you know, anything else I've accomplished from all of this, or like any money or whatever that I've made, you know, completely pales in comparison to just the cool connections and amazing people I've been lucky enough to kind of create, like a new friend group, I guess, you know, that's not necessarily in my real life, but in this weird, crazy internet community. And yeah, I just feel so lucky for that kind of stuff.
It's nice building up all those connections and whatnot, because, yeah, myself, I've run around quite a few communities now just doing these interviews, and yeah,
definitely.
It has paid off. After all, I've met all kinds of crazy people, just insane talents and whatnot.
Yeah.
The initial 4 people that I set out to interview, I still haven't actually interviewed yet, which is funny.
Oh, really? Hey, you'll get there, man. You'll get around to it.
They're a talented bunch. One is a V-singer, the other is an animator.
Oh, cool.
Next is a ridiculous music producer that I met by pure chance one time.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then the last was, let's see, last is actually the fellow which rigged and did the art for my model.
Oh, no way. Cool.
Because that was a guy I met all the way through university. And,
oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Was an absolutely insane fella for the time I knew him.
Hell yeah.
Still know him because damn, I almost had to move in somewhere. Anyway, but yeah.
Oh damn.
I was like, I need to feel like a rental property, so I was like, hey buddy, you want a spot?
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, the connections you make just all throughout are more than worth it, definitely.
Yeah, it's excuse me. It's been amazing. Like, I never would have thought, this time last year that I would be doing anything like this, or like meeting any of the people that I met. So yeah, I just feel, so crazy lucky to have had this really weird experience, I guess.
I don't know, this time last year, I more or less expected myself to just be still on radio, honestly. But,
oh, really?
Yeah. But, it ended up more or less a case of, radio station does good enough without me. I'm not really particularly needed there. And I can pass the torch to some new presenters anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like, hey, you want to entertain people who are driving home after work? Come interview some scientists for us, will you?
Yeah, there you go. Beautiful.
Yeah, I've gone through some interesting interviewees in the day. Just, I don't know,
I believe
a lot
it.
of them are academics, essentially, that just came in and were just like, oh yeah, let's talk about this crazy theory I've got.
That sounds kind of cool, though. It's almost like Joe Rogan.
The Joe Rogan stuff. I think my brother mainly listens to that a fair bit here and there. Just to hear
I kind of had to stop. I kind of
yeah.
had to stop listening to him, to be honest. I can't stand Joe Rogan. I used to like him when he didn't talk so much.
Fair enough.
I used to be a big fan when he would just kind of sit and listen and let these smarter people talk.
Mm-hmm.
But after the whole like kind of nah, it's not worth talking about. Next question. Let's keep going.
All right, let's go with this complete curveball then, because
all right,
why the hell not? Actually, yeah, why the hell not?
What do you got?
All right, so one simple disclaimer: I'm a complete and total twink in real life. I'm a bloody stick.
That's fine.
I do more or less know the theory behind bodybuilding and whatnot, because I did go through and learn about all that kind of shit for some reason, but...
Excuse me.
How would you recommend someone start out on that kind of path?
Oh, hell yeah. Well, how big are you trying to get?
Say reasonably toned, in which case.
Oh, fuck yeah, bit. Okay. Here's what you want to do, man. You gotta start eating. Food is gonna be everything for you.
Definitely, yeah.
Food is going to be your base. It's going to be your energy source. It's eventually going to be your muscle. So you have to get food sorted out first. Getting enough protein. Usually what I recommend as a trainer is usually about 1 gram per pound of body weight, but you're from Australia, so you don't use pounds. So you probably, what does that work out to do? kg. So maybe 2 grams per kilogram of body weight.
Yep. That does sound about right.
So if you weigh right now 70 kilograms, you want to eat around 140 to 160 grams of protein each day. I don't know how tall you are, like how much you weigh. You don't have to say, but
I've said it on stream before, actually.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's actually just straight up in my debut. 56 kilos, 170.
Okay. Kilos, 56 kilos. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, you could start, I don't know how much you eat now, but you kind of want to figure out how much you're eating, like how many calories you're eating now, and just kind of slowly increase that by, it depends on how fast you gain weight, but increase it by like 10, 15, 20%. So let's say right now you're eating a base of, 2,000 calories. Well, you want to increase that up to like, try 2,300, try 2,400. Try that for a few weeks, see if you start gaining weight. If not, up it even more. And you just kind of keep going and guessing and checking. Then you got to start lifting. If you want to build muscle, the only way you can do that is through progressive overload, which means you have to stress your muscles enough to break down and to send those signals to your brain saying that, hey, we got to get bigger or else we can't handle any more of these loads that are coming on to us.
More or less the case of strain it to the point where it needs to repair and improve.
Exactly. Yeah. And luckily that is so simple. I recommend for beginners just a really simple PPL, which is push pull legs routine, which you can do you can start at 3 times a week and see results. I would recommend at least more times going to the gym than not going to the gym in the week. So at least 4 times a week. So what I would do is a push pull legs routine where one day you're doing back and biceps. Next day you're doing chest, triceps, and shoulders. Next day would be legs. Skip a day and then go a 4th day and just hit whatever body part you kind of want to focus on more and hit that one twice a week. And use that as a base to start getting your fitness up, along with your new diet. And just through doing that consistently for a few months, you will see insane results. As long as you're lifting heavy enough to create muscle fatigue each time that you're lifting, and you're eating that proper amount of protein and the excess of calories, you will see, insane results.
Mm-hmm.
The body is so simple.
It is definitely a case of everything starts in the kitchen for sure, though. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, 100%.
Because every time someone mentions abs and whatnot, I'm like, look in the kitchen first. Make sure you know what you're eating and then how much you need to subtract from it or how much you need to increase.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because personally, I'm just a calisthenics kind of person, or calisthenics and cardio usually.
Oh yeah, I mean that's totally fine. I mean, yeah, everybody's got different goals. That's just the typical bodybuilding route. Just trying to pack on muscle as fast as possible.
Because in comparison, I then look at my brother who is more or less just swole as hell. I'm just like, I am likely never going to achieve that, at least not consistently. So I'll leave the muscle stuff to him. I will just stick with I'll stick with the aerobic stuff so I can at least endure when it comes to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just always like the look of muscles. Like I just think it looks cool, and I love the feeling of working out and growing my body. And so to me, it's just like a form of therapy. It's just like a form of relaxation. Putting on some music and just kind of getting lost for a few hours, just lifting weights. Kind of feeling your heart pumping, your brain starts activating, like it because I firmly believe that humans, we're not meant to be sitting around for too long. We got to be moving.
Oh, no, definitely.
Just scientifically. So that's kind of what I always try to think about. Like, I mean, at this point, I guess like lifting to me is so a part of my life that there's no way I could live without it. It makes me feel good. And I always wondered, like, why does lifting make me feel so good? Like, obviously the vanity aspect, of course, but there's just this feeling, like there's this window, like an hour after I lift, of just pure bliss. Like blood is still like pumping to my muscles. My skin is tight. My brain is working on some different type of wavelength that wasn't there before. And that's just meant to feel good. Like biologically, that is meant to feel good. I got the serotonin pumping. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. I'm feeling alive. So I always just kind of remember that feeling. Like if I'm having a shit week or something, or a shit day, it's like, let's go to the gym. Let's feel alive. Just get back to our primal roots and just go feel something for a little bit.
So personally for myself, rather than going out and doing exercise or whatnot, I just sit down at a piano and slam as many keys as I can, usually.
Oh yeah, baby. I mean, I do that too. Hell yeah.
But yeah, that more or less just fixes up my mood most of the time. Just if I need a mental reset, where's my keyboard? Slams right down on it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, no, I'm the same way. Absolutely.
Because yeah, I more or less just keep a keyboard right next to my bed at this point. It's just a case of very easy to turn on and then just, yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Do whatever. It's even hooked up to my mixer actually, but I'll spare you that for now because my playing can be particularly chaotic at this time of night.
No worries, no worries.
But yeah, say, if you were to try and get, say, a random sedentary VTuber off of their ass and starting into getting more active, what would you start them out with? Like, how would you get them interested in becoming more fit, essentially?
Well, the thing with that is, man, I can't do that. I can't do that for them. You can't do that. It gotta be from them.
From within, yeah?
Yeah, that's all on them, man. I can try. I've tried before with some people. But I mean, I worked as a trainer for a long time, back in the States before Japan. And, if I have someone who wants to get fit, then that is like, how can I say this? Like, if I have somebody that wants to get fit and they're willing to put in the work, I can take them to that level. But if I have someone who kind of wants to do it, but maybe for the wrong reasons, or they kind of have this idea of what they want to do, you can teach them everything. You can encourage them as much as possible. But at the end of the day, if they don't really want it, if they don't really have that motivation, there's nothing you can do, unfortunately. And I've definitely tried. But the people that have come to me, like, I mean, my buddy Cosma, he started lifting, a few years after I did. And to me, that's still my greatest success in life is getting Cosma into lifting. It's one of the things I'm the most proud of, like introducing all these different types of lifts and the whole culture of the gym and stuff like that. Introducing that to him is still like one of my greatest and most proudest moments ever. And the thing with him is because he wanted to do it. Like, he wanted this new lifestyle. He wanted to get fit. He wanted to become something that he wasn't before. And that's why like that inner motivation is the most important, because in college and stuff like that, like, I mean, dude, I had so many friends come up and like, yo Aethel, like, yo, can you teach me how to lift? I kind of want to get ripped for the summer. And as soon as I hear that, I'm like, oh, fuck off. Like, no, you're gonna quit, dude. You're gonna quit. I can teach you and help you and invite you to the gym every day, but you're gonna find an excuse. So but what I'm trying to say is, yeah. Yeah, exactly. What I'm trying to say is that, people like Cosma, who have that fire in their heart and that motivation from within to push themselves, that type of person, yeah, I can work with that. Like, some of my best clients back in America had that kind of spirit, and they made the most insane progress. But if there's, like, I guess to answer back to your question, if there's a sedentary VTuber and they want to get fit or something, first I gotta know if they really want it, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Because, yeah, when it comes to this kind of stuff, persistence is definitely key. Because if you stop or at some point doubt what you're going to go for, then you start going backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one thing I noticed even just by time doing a shit ton of calisthenics is, at first you start out and you're like, I can barely do 10 push-ups. I'm dead, essentially. Normally that'd be the point where a lot of people just stop and it's like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
But if you keep going at it, you'll naturally just raise your numbers and naturally you'll see an improvement.
Yeah, definitely. Consistency is key.
Yeah, even with something like push-ups, it will eventually just become a feedback loop, because as you do improve, as you go through more and more, your body will size up a bit more, and then you'll have a bit more weight to start pushing up, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It all just like compounds on top of each other.
Mm-hmm. It's Like, yeah, even myself, I started out doing maybe 10 a day and dying. And
Yep.
and then nowadays I can casually do about 100 and just be like, yeah, this is normal.
Fuck yeah.
This is fine.
Fuck yeah. Beautiful.
Man, it took a while to get to that point, but eventually when you get used to it, it's like, oh, I'll just put on like a song and just drop and start doing them. Then by the end of a couple of songs, it's like, oh yeah, it's over. That wasn't so hard, was it? That's just like 15 minutes that you take out of your day to do whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of very unobtrusive exercises that you can do if need be.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to go all the way out to a gym, but a gym definitely has all the resources and that whole environment, essentially.
Yeah, you can do home. Yeah, you can totally do home workouts for sure. I definitely do them sometimes as a good alternative, but the whole culture and the whole feeling of a gym, like, it's really unbeatable.
Yeah. Like, for myself, I just need to walk outside my room and I see my brother doing something or other, usually. So it's just a case of I don't escape that culture to begin with.
There you go. Yeah, you live with that culture.
Yeah, on a couple of the doors is just like a bar just hanging off of it. It's like, if I walk out my door, I may see him hanging from one of those.
That's awesome.
If not, I go into the kitchen pantry and there's a couple of sacks of protein there. I'm like, yep. Start washing dishes. There's protein powder in those too. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
And just walk around and see various bits of gym equipment and whatnot just hanging around. Even to the point of like there's homemade medicine balls just lying around, and I'm just like, you've overfilled these. These are a bit too heavy.
Oh, that's great.
Nah, guy himself is more or less just a laborer sort of kind. So yeah.
Okay. He's kind of built tough.
Yeah, needs to be tough. Like,
definitely.
Whereas I'd normally handle the more technical side of things, that guy definitely handles the more strength-oriented stuff, by far.
Okay.
So as long as I'm on my 2 feet, and as long as he's still pushing stuff, we can get work done. And it's a case
perfect combo.
of, yeah, anytime it comes to like home renovations and stuff, I'm just like, okay, here, go here, put this here, position this here, now apply pressure.
The perfect team.
It's a nice dynamic, I'll admit. But yeah, in general, the bodybuilding, not so much something that I will necessarily get into too much myself. I do understand a lot behind it simply because of what I deal with from time to time, but yeah. Seeing it as part of someone's life is just, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a great hobby. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah, it's something with very, very tangible improvement. Because
you can see the progress.
You can see the progress. You definitely feel the progress.
Oh yeah, baby.
Because you compare it to something like VTubing, where suddenly like it's very, very abstract at times, where you're not necessarily sure if the only metric you can measure for success is your viewer count or follower count or whatever.
Just like the numbers, for sure.
Like that may be the only thing you can go off on for success as something discrete and obvious.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
Yeah. But in reality, in reality, you may just be improving as a streamer as it is. Like,
definitely.
Be better at talking at people, better at holding a conversation, and you just may not realize it the entire time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, each stream is a chance to practice.
But yeah, bodybuilding, you definitely see it. You're alive anytime you take any kind of physical kind of action.
Oh yeah, man. I'm just trying to get just like kind of scary big. Just like I just kind of want to be almost like I've said this before on my streams, but I just kind of want that reaction of like walking down the street and having some like tiny Japanese boy like look up at his mom and say, "Mommy, who's that monster man?" And just have me like waving back at him. And that's kind of like what my goal with bodybuilding is.
Fair enough. Like, What kind of dynamic is it like in Japan, actually, being a really tall buff dude, essentially, walking through the streets? What is that like?
It's pretty fun. I mean, I'm not super tall. I'm average. I'm like 5'11". I don't know what that is in centimeters, like 180,
Definitely
178.
taller than me, at least.
But I don't know. It's cool. Like everyone's nice. I get stared at a lot because I do have blonde hair and blue eyes, so I definitely don't fit the bill of a Japanese person. And weightlifting is like kind of popular these days. It's getting more popular. But there's not a lot of buff people walking around like there is in America. There's not just like a lot of big boys, like big muscle boys out here. So I definitely get stared at a lot wherever I go, which is fine. But sometimes I really just kind of want to duck out. Like I'll put a hoodie on a lot of times and just like a hat and just kind of like dip out and put my mask on and just like no one really gives a fuck. But if I go out like full, like short sleeves and like my hair's out, then yeah, I'll get stared at quite a bit. But it's fine. Like they're just curious, so it doesn't bother me. But sometimes I do just kind of want to lay a little bit more low.
That's a fair enough sentiment to have, after all.
Yeah, sometimes you just kind of want that privacy, I guess.
But yeah, that is an interesting image that you want to get of yourself. Who is the monster man?
Yeah, I definitely want that. Yeah, I definitely want that. We were in Japan one time. I was in Japan with Kazuma, and this was years ago, back in like 2015. And I didn't speak any Japanese at that time, but Kazuma is half Japanese, so he speaks it fluently. And we were on our first trip to Japan, and we had like worked out, and so I was in like this muscle tank top, just like full ignorant, like everything was showing pretty much. And Cosmo was sitting next to these two old guys, and I was sitting across from them. And Cosmo overheard them, and he just starts laughing his ass off. And we get off the train, and I'm like, dude, what were you laughing about? And he was like, oh, those two old men said you look like a German action figure.
Heck.
So I kind of want to make the progress from German action figure to just absolute monster of a human being.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite memories. So cute.
German action figure though, god damn.
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
Alright, in which case let's move discreetly over to particular goals for the future. So what do you actually want to achieve apart from, say, the Monster Man?
Are you talking about in VTubing, like in music and stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, with goals in the future, man. Live, stay alive is pretty much my main goal. Just like any other animal, man, I'm just trying to stay alive, and being a human, I'm just trying to have fun too. Yeah, with VTubing and music, literally my only goal is to just keep having fun and making people laugh and keep making music that I want to make. That's pretty much it.
That's a nice set of goals to have. Straightforward to the point.
Yeah, nothing really set in stone. I guess, like, I don't know. I guess I don't really take life all that serious. Like, I've just seen life like as so fragile. Like in my experiences, I've just had so much happen to me in my life that, like, I think life is way shorter than we think it is. It's way more fragile than we think it is. And I don't want to set too many goals, because I feel like if I have these goals, it puts this ceiling on your happiness. Like, oh, I can't be happy until I get this goal. I won't feel accomplished until I have this goal. And I feel like that really limits how much you can enjoy each day. And I don't think a lot of people realize how much importance is on each day each hour, each minute that we're on this earth. And I think with too many goals and looking at the future too much, I think we can really miss out on a lot of those precious seconds.
Yeah, living life in the moment is always rather pleasant, I'll say, in comparison.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've lived around people which pretty much only look to the future.
And it's like...
Yeah, it's a different change of pace, which helps a lot for one's mindset, I will say.
Yeah, dude, I mean, hey, once you get those goals, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get there and you're just going to be like, okay, that's it. Like, okay, you did it. Of course, I want to live comfortably. Of course, I want to keep working hard at my job, like my real life job, just to keep funding my hobbies and stuff like that. Of course, that's my main goal, just to live comfortably. But above all else, just keep having fun, man, and just stay alive.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Myself, my end goal is pretty comfy as well, honestly. It's just a case of make enough from whatever current industries that I'm working at that I can eventually just open a bar and retire off there. Just
fucking
spend
amen.
the rest of my time telling stories and serving people drinks.
Hey, there you go, man. That's beautiful. I love that.
It's still something that's continuous, so hey. That'll keep me going until the end anyway.
Fuck yeah, dude. I love that.
But anyhow, speaking of drinks, one of the questions I've got here, recommend a drink, any drink at all. Doesn't particularly have to be alcoholic, it can be alcoholic though, but by all means, go ahead.
My favorite drink is this stuff called Dragon's Blood.
Dragon's Blood? Okay.
It was this like this bootleg Chinese pre-workout that I used to drink back in college.
Oh my.
And dude, man, I used to pound that shit, dude. I mean, I would have the best lifts of my whole life off that stuff. Cosmo knows all about it too.
Oh.
It wasn't even called Dragon's Blood. That's just what we named it.
Okay.
I don't think it was legal in most states.
Yeah. Hello? Ah. Alright, seems we've reconnected. Just. Yeah. I think this makes disconnect number 3 or number 4 at this point. I think it's number 3, anyhow. Hey, Fool, you still alive? Seems he's gone off for a bit. But yeah, not quite an eco stream without a disconnect. Anyhow, let's see the record of stuff I've missed. First of all, let's see. You, thanks for the bits twice. Sasha, if you're still around, thanks for the bits as well. And Leica, likewise, thanks for the bits. But yeah. We'll continue on once he gets back. For now,
Hey, sorry. I saw we disconnected. I got some water.
Oh, no, that's fine.
We back on?
Yeah, we're back on. We've been back on.
Okay.
Alright, so Dragon's Blood, and you say it's not particularly legal. What exactly was in that stuff?
Oh, man. I'm pretty sure, like... Oh, man. I mean... I don't know what company made it. I don't even know if they're in business anymore. I don't even know if I could find it if I wanted to.
Oh man, that sounds like some real sketchy stuff then.
Yeah, there was this old man that used to live outside my gym, and he didn't have a home or any legs, and he used to sit outside my gym, and he would sell this stuff that was pretty similar to dragon's blood. He would call it chirp juice because it would make it chirp like a bird.
Oh
and I think maybe he was working for that company that made the dragon's blood because it tasted pretty similar, and it had a similar effect.
How would you describe the taste then?
Like, have you ever licked your fingers and put it into an outlet before?
Wait, into an outlet?
Yeah. You know, like when you were a kid, you never like put random stuff into the outlets.
Ah, yes, I see.
It kind of tasted like that.
Oh my. Okay.
It kind of tasted like. Have you ever been like defibrillated? Like a heart defibrillator?
How does one put it? I've been in the countryside. Family has a countryside farm property. I have grabbed onto an electric fence before.
Yeah, then you know what a dragon's blood tastes like. That's exactly what it tastes like.
It's a shock to the system. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I see why that would get your heart pumping then. Jeez.
Oh yeah, very dangerous but very effective.
Yeah, one has to wonder what the hell you'd need to put in. That's either like a crap ton of caffeine or something else.
I think it was like 500 milligrams of caffeine, if I remember correctly. It was something disgusting.
500
and it had
milligrams of caffeine. Christ.
I think that's enough to kill a small child.
Yeah, usually.
Or severely brain damage them, yeah.
Let's say, just this can of V over here that I've got on my table, this thing only has like 85 milligrams in total volume of 275 mils. So that's already considered decent density, enough to cause certain people which are too sensitive to have problems. But 500 would kill most people, most likely.
I'm lucky to be alive right now.
Man.
I'm lucky to still be breathing.
It's like, in my case, I'm hyper caffeine sensitive, so for the most part, if I do drink an energy drink, it will last anywhere between 1.5 times its duration to double its duration.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
I'm totally addicted to caffeine, so I feel like it just puts me at like base normal levels anytime I drink caffeine now.
But yeah, the odd thing is it normally goes the opposite for alcohol. My tolerance is ridiculously high for alcohol. Whatever reason.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's the total opposite for me. I'm such a lightweight.
Yeah, for me, it's like despite my weight or any kind of other external factor, you'd think it's like, oh, for some reason I can stomach a ridiculous amount and still just keep going. Because the last time I went out with a whole bunch of the Sydney VTuber lot, it was at least 13, 14 drinks, and a good chunk of them were dead on the ground.
Oh shit, daddy. Damn.
And I was there
I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I was there like, how are those Okay, I am just going to switch us to a more reliable internet connection for the remainder of this.
No worries, man. No worries.
Hopefully it is reliable, because God knows how this normally ends up, because it has just been a rainy day. Anyhow.
It's those fucking rats. It's the fucking rain.
It's one of the two. R&R, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see. In which case, yeah, for the fellas in the audience, we will disconnect one more time and then, yeah. Should hopefully be stable. Good lord. It's just
beautiful.
like, damn. Anyhow, we are back once more after another DC. But yeah, blame the rain, blame the rats, one of the two.
It's got to be one of them.
Yeah, the horrifying thing is every time we look further and further into the rats, it's a case of, wait, they've progressed this much further now.
They're multiplying.
It's like, okay, it started with them just getting into the laundry, and we were just like, okay, so they're behind the washing machine and the dryer, probably, because we see rat shit back there. Or mouse shit back there, and we're just like, okay, this is fine. We just need to close the laundry door whenever someone goes out to take out laundry, etc. And we shouldn't have too much of a problem.
Yeah.
Then we realize, after about a week, that solution hasn't worked because one of the rice bags is clean torn open.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
They know you're scared.
And there's mouse and rat shit all over it. Then we're just like, oh, what? How? There was no opportunity for them to get in. And we look over at a bag of potatoes, and one of the potatoes has just been chewed to oblivion, and we're just like, oh shit.
Oh, Jesus. Dude, that's so scary.
So we move all the rice bags to the kitchen. We move the potatoes out as well. We're just like, okay, surely they're not going to eat the chilies as well.
Surely they can't.
They eat the chilies.
Oh,
There's
man.
mouse and rat shit all over those two, and we're just like, oh my god. They actually went for it.
You guys got to get like some cats or something to balance out the ecosystem.
Yeah, I wish that was an option, but the neighbor's allergic to cats.
Oh man, well then you got to. Okay, so then you got to get something for the neighbor. You got what could eat the neighbor? You got the cats eating the rats, and then the neighbor doesn't like the cat. So maybe get like no offense, maybe get some like Mormons or something. Get some Mormons to move in. Maybe that'll drive them out of the neighborhood.
Oh man, that might actually.
Yeah, maybe you should try that.
Yeah, then we thought, okay, so we've sealed them out into the laundry space. It's localized in the laundry, surely. We'll just leave we'll leave some flour outside the laundry door just to make sure.
Oh yeah.
In the morning, we wake up, we go over to the laundry. On the flour is a whole bunch of paw prints. They've clearly managed to make their way out somehow.
Oh shit, dude. You're gonna catch a ghost that way, dude, putting flour on the floor. You're gonna see something you don't want to see, man. You're gonna see some like human footprints or something.
Yep.
That shit's scary.
As it turned out, night after, we find the rice bags we've left high up have been accessed. And there's
Jesus
mouse
Christ.
and rat shit on like the kitchen benches.
Oh
Then-
yeah, dude. Rats will make a fucking ladder out of their kids, man. They'll chain a bunch of kids, like rat kids, together and use them as a fucking ladder, dude. They can get anywhere.
Yeah, then we looked at like the top of the shelves and everything, and it's like, it's everywhere.
Oh yeah, dude. Rats are fucking smart, man. I knew one rat when I lived in Chicago, and we got big rats out there, and they're pretty smart. I saw one rat doing fucking trigonometry in the subway, dude, one time. I swear to God.
Trigonometry in the subway, good lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went up and I said, like, dude, what are you doing the trig for? He's, I got to finish this homework up for tomorrow.
Man.
I was like, all right, well, good luck, man. So I hope you got it done. But yeah, dude, I think rats are a lot smarter than we give them credit for.
Rats are among the smartest animals out there, which is a rather horrifying thought.
Yeah, dude.
I've dealt with them in a hospitality setting before as well, and good lord.
Oh yeah, I don't fuck with rats. I don't trust them. There's a reason we call like people that snitch rats.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, they're smart, but they're kind of up to no good, and they're kind of just looking out for themselves, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes plenty of sense, man. But yeah, rats everywhere. God. Here's the thing. Have 2 dogs. They're the kind which are actually very good at catching rats. The main problem with that, though, is rats carry around a lot of bacteria and disease, so every time they do manage to catch one, they end up vomiting for the rest of the day, for the most part.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, you don't want your house dogs eating wild rats.
Yeah, it's a case of they're fast enough that they'll manage to grab one, snatch it, and then just shake it till it's dead. But then after that, they will suffer for the rest of the day.
Oh yeah, dude. Get that diarrhea, man. Undercooked rat.
They are good for taking out one rat each, daily. Followed by an extended recovery period.
Oh damn, yeah. Your dogs are either gonna learn their lesson or it's gonna start some new type of like evolutionary trait in dogs or something. something that God didn't intend.
At this point, I'm pretty sure they've just learned their lesson and just like, yeah, no, we're not touching those things. Because yeah, the first few nights they actually continuously barked, and we had no idea why at first. But now it all makes sense. Yeah,
it's those fucking rats, man.
It's the rats. Because then we'd see them just randomly run up to like cupboards or the laundry and just start barking for some reason. We're just like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And that's what initially clued us in.
On the flip side, though, I feel like maybe having the rats is a good thing. You know, if these rats are causing all these problems, that can give you a little bit of wiggle room. You know, maybe in your family life at home. Maybe your brother has some good snacks or something that maybe you like. Well, I think you have a pretty good in, man. You could just, I don't know, take a bite, blame it on the rats.
Oh man,
I think it's a blessing in disguise, man. You can get away with anything.
Of the rat plague. That'd be an interesting way of going about things.
You could become some type of rat king, dude. You could maybe like create some type of like cheese throne or something like that and sit on top of the cheese throne. And I think rats are maybe smart enough. They'll kind of see you as some type of god, like some type of rat god, right? And maybe you could slowly feed them from your throne and they'll start to respect you, maybe even start worshiping you in some type of way. And then, I don't know, I think maybe you could, dare I say, control them. I think it might take some time, but dude, I think you have to start looking at the bigger picture here, the more opportunities. Instead of seeing them as a nuisance, I think you've kind of stumbled upon something amazing with these rats. I think you gotta make use of them.
Yes, one of the fellas in chat, they don't actually like cheese, use grains, I see. Time to use the rice and the potatoes. Got it.
Yeah, there you go, man. Yeah. Make you a rat throne, man. Become the rat king.
What I'm more surprised of is there's an entire vegetable garden outside that they just don't touch.
Oh, dude. Rats are lazy, man. They don't want to cook. You know, they want the prepackaged food, man. They know the good stuff.
Yeah. It's all kinds of tomatoes, chilies still on the vine, not chilies being dried out.
Yeah, they know what the good stuff is.
They're going for the freshly harvested stuff.
Exactly.
Kind of think of it, those eggplants on the kitchen bench probably aren't safe anymore, huh?
Oh, damn. No, probably not. Oh, man.
Because, yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason, family just grows a lot of stuff and none of it gets touched by the rats, but the moment it comes inside, free-for-all, you know?
That's just their higher intelligence, you know, they want to get under your skin, man. They're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
So you just got to outsmart them, become their leader, get in on the inside. Maybe take one hostage, dude. See how that affects him.
Take one hostage. Who knows? Maybe you'll find one that's a good chef somewhere in there.
Yeah, dude. Put a mini camera on one of them. Kind of see what they're doing on the inside. See what their house looks like. Study them.
Because yeah, if there's one thing we haven't found out yet, it's where the hell they're coming from.
Yeah, dude. I think you should do a little investigation one night.
Because at the very least, when we leave out the flour trails, we can follow it to see what chunks of the kitchen that they've gone over to. That way we know that every time we take something out of a cupboard, we should actually just wash the damn thing first.
Yeah, damn.
Because yeah, if it's covered in flour, it's like, oh, that's why.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But, yeah.
Well, damn, dude, I wish you the best of luck with that infestation.
Yeah, rat infestation is just, man. Yeah.
I hope I don't see any headlines coming out of Australia about local Aussie man gets captured by rats and held hostage at gunpoint while they do demand trigonometry homework help.
To be fair, we lost the war to emus before.
Yeah, dude. I think the war with the rats is next, man. Yep. And they got bigger numbers.
Yeah, in fact, we lost the war to emus twice. Not even just once. We lost it twice.
Oh, god damn it. All right. Well, maybe you should just swear allegiance to the rats now. Get on their good side and just hope for the best.
Hope for the best, man.
Oh, dang.
Anyhow, on that odd note, guess we should end the interview here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, man. This was so much fun, and thank you for all your prep work and your amazing questions. Yeah, it was just such a nice, relaxed time. You know, coming out of work and doing this with you. I really appreciate you taking the time.
No problem, no problem. You came at the recommendation of you, and then ended up catching my eye quite a lot. I was like,
oh, thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Like, damn, all right. Music producer fella, and his music sounds very close to. It was the kind of genre that I do appreciate, essentially.
Thanks, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, and thank you to you as well for spreading my name. And yeah, I love you, dude. They're one of my favorite people and one of my favorite VTubers. And luckily, they're in Australia, so they always stream kind of when I'm getting off work, so I can usually pop in their stream. So I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, Aussie timing's an interesting one when it comes to the VTubing scene, mainly because they somehow managed to slip into everyone's streams.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, right?
Yeah, if there's one spot that we can't really cover too well, I think it's the European side, unfortunately.
Definitely, dude, definitely.
Because yeah, I have not been able to interview a European VTuber yet, so that's on the list of things to do at some point.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I know what you mean. But yeah, man, thank you so much. I appreciate it so much.
Hey. If you ever feel like defusing a bomb sometime, maybe I'll go a second round. Anyway.
Hell yeah, let's do it, baby.
Let's see, who should I raid tonight?
Oh yeah, who you feeling, man?
You know what, I'll send it over to a certain onsen dragon. Why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, anyhow, once again, thanks for the interview.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate your time, and definitely be talking to you again soon. Thank you.
I'll send you a couple of links of stuff I mentioned anyhow.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Anyhow, I'll shoot us over to an ending screen.
All right. Best of luck, partner. Thank you so much. God bless you.